I know. I'm I'm at a bit of a loss for words here, because I wanted to talk about WrestleMania 32, the upcoming WrestleMania card, the build up, everything about that. Um, I I was thinking about making a predictions video, but what would be the point? I'm not gonna watch it. I was thinking about. I don't know really what to talk about, really, because I mean I was planning on going over the card, but yeah, I'm probably still gonna do that. But oh my goodness, I I don't think I've ever been as disinterested in a WrestleMania card since WrestleMania 29. And that card had basically one match that I cared about, which was Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I know that seems weird because it also had Undertaker versus CM Punk, which was a great match. But the thing was, I wasn't interested in that match because I was still saying that match shouldn't have happened. Because one, I wanted Undertaker to retire when he reached 20-0, and two was that CM Punk should have been in the main event instead of having Rock Cena 2. But that's a discussion for a completely different time. We're here to talk about WrestleMania 32 and how shit booked, shit matchup, shit everything that they've done so far. It's all been awful. I'm at a loss for words for how bullshit everything has gone. If people still think Vince should be in charge of WWE, they are completely wrong. Get him to a retirement home as soon as fucking possible, because he's fucking up everything. And by comparison, look at what they're doing with NXT TakeOver Dallas. That show looks like it's gonna be sorry. Sorry about that. That show looks like it's gonna be freaking phenomenal. But because I don't want to support the WWE by buying the network, I'm not gonna get to experience that. What the hell, WWE, are you fucking doing? Ugh. Okay. Maybe I should just go over the card and just tell you what I think of each match, of how they built it up, and just explain to you why this... I know this is before SmackDown airs, but I've read the spoilers and it doesn't look like anything of significance happens. And I highly doubt something of significance will happen. And even then, even if it did, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to care. Because I really don't give a shit. I just want to get my thoughts out there right now. I'll talk about WrestleMania after it airs. It airs probably a couple of days afterwards, after I've seen the Raw for it. Because I'm not going to watch it live, because I just don't care enough to do so. And I don't care enough to spend the money on it. And I got other priorities, like university, need to deal with. I wanted to buy WrestleMania if they just promised me one match. One match. If they just promised me one specific match, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. But they didn't. So I'm not going to watch it, but I'm just going to tell you what I think. I know this may sound weird and complete, and you might just write this off and, by all means, just leave. I don't care. I just want to put my thoughts out there and just tell you how much I hate what they're doing with WrestleMania 32. So why don't we go over the card? I have a Wikipedia article up so I can look at the match card. If it's inaccurate, well, I don't care. So first we have the pre-show, or at least what it says is going to be the pre-show. It's going to have the Usos versus the Dudleys. It's going to have a 10 Diva tag match, which is consisting of Team Total Divas versus Team BAD and Blonde, and a United States Championship match with Kalisto versus Ryback. So why don't we start there first, shall we? First, let's get to Kalisto. No, not the US. No. Let's get to the Dudleys versus the Usos. Why? What purpose does this match? What purpose does this match serve? There's no title on the line. There's nothing really to gain by it. It's on the pre-show. It's a match they built a little bit on the on the show, but if it's a pre-show match, who cares? And this is right after the Dudleys turned heel. And you're not capitalizing on that with anything. Pointless. That's what it is. It's pointless. It's really pointless. Nobody cares. It's on the pre-show. Nobody cares. Let's go to the Divas match, or as it's, according to an article, it's soon going to be known as the Women's Match. Thank freaking goodness WWE is finally going to change that. I've hated the term Divas for so fucking long. I've wanted WWE to change it back to Women's Division or Women's title for so damn long. And finally, they're going to do it. At least according to an article. If it's not true, then damn it. But I really hope it's true. And it could be an indication of who's going to win and win the women's title, the Divas title in WrestleMania. I'll get to that later. But first, let's talk about the tag match on the pre-show, because there is something to talk about there. We have Team Total Divas versus Team BAD and Blondes. I'm not calling it Bad and Blondes because they specifically were the BAD. So, Team BAD is apparently consisting of Tamina, Emma, Naomi, Summer Rae, and Lana. So it's a team consisting of hold on a little bit. It's consisting of two women who are one woman who is not that good of a wrestler, which is Summer Rae. It features three wrestlers who I personally think are good wrestlers, which are Tamina, Emma, and Naomi. And it features someone who I have no idea if she has any wrestling skills or not, Lana. I haven't really been following this tag storyline for too long, so I don't really know if she has any wrestling skills, but I'm not sure if she will contribute too much. Versus Team Total Divas, which is Brie Bella, who is not that good. Paige, who is good. Natalia, who is good. Alicia Fox, who isn't good. And see, here's the thing. Team Total Divas is supposedly the faces in this match. At least I think so. And what did WWE do? They decided that the 5th member of this team was going to be Eva Marie. The most hated woman in the company. Probably the most hated wrestler, because I hardly call her that, not considering her wrestling skills, in the company, who was previously in NXT and was booed out of the building every time she appeared. And now she comes here and supposedly she's a babyface. And when she came out on Raw, the boos. The boos. Brooklyn or whatever, Jersey, I'm not sure which city it was, but they booed her out of the company. It was freaking... It seems like backfire on a huge scale. There's only one other instance I can think of in recent times, and I'll get to that when we get to the main event. But this backfired so badly. Because now you got a team of heels versus a team with faces and the woman that people hate the most in the company. It's on the pre-show, thankfully, so nobody cares. But still, Eva Marie is getting a WrestleMania match. Even though moving her up from NXT now is stupid because she still hasn't improved. I mean, okay, she has improved a little bit. She's gone from absolute shit to bad. Or terrible. Actually. Yeah, I think we can say she's gone from absolute bottom of the barrel to, terrible. She's a terrible wrestler, but at least better than what she was beforehand. Ugh. WWE. You screwed up big time. I think it's a good thing that you put this on the pre-show. What I'm not happy that you put on the pre-show, though, is the next match. Kalisto versus Ryback for the United States Championship. Okay. When I first heard about this match, I was absolutely pissed off. For a number of reasons. One, why the hell is Ryback getting a singles title match against Kalisto? Seriously. Why? What's the point of having this match? There's been no build-up to it at all. There's been a lot of build-up between Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto, but that rivalry ended at Fastlane on the pre-show. So that this rivalry just comes straight out of nowhere, and yeah, it just kind of happened, and they've given it a lot of focus, and now it's apparently going to be on the pre-show. Oh, sorry. And now it's apparently going to be on the pre-show. Sorry. There is another reason why this one pisses me off a little bit. Not as much now that it's on the pre-show, but if this had been on the main card, there's another reason that would have pissed me the fuck off. It's still pissing me off, but I'll get to that when we get to the main card. But yeah, again, pre-show, nobody cares at all. I'm not going to make any predictions or anything because, first of all, it's on the pre-show, so I don't care. And second of all, I'm not going to watch the show, so I don't care really to make predictions. I'm just going to really just go over the matches. Moving on to the actual show. We got let's start from the bottom here. The New Day, which is Kofi Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods, versus the League of Nations, which is King Barrett versus and Sheamus, and Alberto Del Rio and Rusev, in a 3-on-4 handicap match, which apparently is not for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat. Why? Why are you having this feud? The New Day are supposedly heels. I know everybody likes them, but they're supposed to be heels, right? That's why people like them in the first place. They're so annoyingly annoying, but that's the point. They're supposed to be annoying heels, and they're funny like that. And then you got the League of Nations, who are just an enforcement for the Authority, and they're heels. So you got heel versus heel, no title on the line. I mean, that's what they've been fighting about for the past few weeks. I mean, you had the New Day facing Barrett and Sheamus at Roadblock, and then you had them face Del Rio and Rusev afterwards. Both times for the title, both times like they beat Sheamus and Barrett, but then we had some screw job finish with Del Rio and Rusev, and now they're gonna fight at WrestleMania, and the title's not on the line. And there is no reason for this match to actually happen. Ugh. I hate it when champions fight on the show and the title is not on the line. The only time you can make an exception is if it's a tournament, a big multi-man tag team match, multi-man match for a singles title, or that's pretty much it. If you're gonna have a champion in a match, put the damn title on the line when you're on a pay-per-view. But they're apparently not gonna do that. For no good reason. Ugh. Bad match. I don't know if the match is gonna be bad or not, but just what's the point? Moving on. Let's see. We got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Once again, which is a 20-man battle royal, and this time it's not on the pre-show, but who really cares? I mean, let's look at who won the battle royal. It's like the first time it was Antonio Cesaro. Where was he at the last? Where is he now? Out with an injury. Okay. Then you have the Big Show, who won it last year. Where is he now? What has he done this year? Basically nothing. The guy just sort of walks in the door, turns heel or turns face, and walks out. Look, I love the Big Show, but he's pointless these days, really. I mean, he doesn't add anything, and he doesn't really do anything of necessary that's necessary. And yeah, that win was basically pointless. It didn't ruin his career like it might have done with Antonio Cesaro, but yeah. So, whoever wins this Battle Royal, good fucking luck, because I don't think you're going to have a promising career in front of you. Which is why I believe they should give this to one of the social outcasts, because we all know they're not going to gain anything from it. But hey, they could surprise me for, third time's the charm, Whoever wins could get a good boost from it, but I don't really have any hopes for it. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho 4. That's the 4th time we've done this. AJ's first match when he got into WWE was against Chris Jericho. Well, it was the Royal Rumble, but his first singles match. Then he had another match with Chris Jericho. It's like he won the first match, Jericho won the second, so logically, one more match. Fastlane, they took one head to head, and AJ won. So, rivalry over, right? Kind of. They decided to make a tag team. They challenged for the tag titles, and then Jericho turned heel. Well, after they lost, but Jericho turned heel. Apparently because people were more interested in AJ Styles than they were in him. So now we get another match between the two. Look, I think both guys are amazing. I'm really happy that AJ has been doing a lot of good stuff ever since he came into WWE, because I was really worried that they were going to treat him badly. But they've done a good job so far. And it's great that he gets a WrestleMania match, but why are they doing him and Jericho again? I mean, couldn't you have done something a bit different with this match? Anything? Guess not. It'll probably be a good match, but we've seen it 3 times now. Three times in one feud is kind of enough most of the time. Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be. Here we go. Here's the match that just pisses me off so much, because this ruined the one match I really, really wanted on the card. It made so much sense for them to put this on the card. They had the right set to build it right, and they screwed it up. So, to walk you through what they've done, they had Kevin Owens in the Royal Rumble. During the Rumble at number 20, I think, who comes out? His old NXT rival, Sami Zayn. Sami gets into the ring and eliminates Owens. Seeds are planted. Timing. Oh. Then, a few weeks later, Owens wins a 5-man match for the Intercontinental Championship to win the title back. Now I'm really getting excited. You have Zayn and Owens. All you need to do is just build on that. Build on that. You decide to go with a story between Owens and Ziggler. Okay, as long as you don't screw it up for WrestleMania, because that's where I want the match to go. Sami Zayn, Owens has a match with Adrian Neville, and is about to powerbomb him on the apron. Sami Zayn comes out for a save. It's a big brawl, and I am excited as hell because I really want to see the match at WrestleMania. And then they start building a bit more with The Miz and Adrian Neville. I'm like, oh, no. You have a match here. These two have history on NXT. Before NXT. Everything that you could imagine. Come on. And then, I'm not happy this happened, but I was kind of at the time, even though, basically, Adrian Neville had a match with Chris Jericho, and he got injured. And now he's going to miss WrestleMania. And I was like, that sucks. But could this be the catalyst for you not to screw this up and do Owens versus Zayn at WrestleMania? They decide to do a triple threat match for a shot at Owens' title at WrestleMania between Sin Cara, Zack Ryder, and Stardust. And Owens attacks them, which results in a DQ. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in WWE, they've never, ever done a triple threat match where there are DQs. Usually they're saying that it's a no DQ match. Which, granted, I don't think that makes sense. I mean, it depends on who's attacked. The person who's attacked wins by DQ. Still, but alright, fine. And then they announced that instead of not facing either of those three, they're gonna do a 7-man ladder match with Kevin Owens defending against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, Stardust, and The Miz. So you went from having one of the most promising matches, something that could have been match of the card, to a mess of a match with very weak build-up. And you had no reason not to go one-on-one. And yet you decide to do Kalisto versus Ryback as a one-on-one. If you really wanted to have another ladder match, you could have done one of two things. One, you could have made the United States Championship match a ladder match. Hello, Kalisto is a high flyer. One of the men you put in the match is Sin Cara, his tag partner. You could have brought some tension into that. Or you could take the Money in the Bank ladder match from take that away from its own pay-per-view and put it back at WrestleMania. I mean, there is no Mr. Money in the Bank right now. Sheamus cashed in at Survivor Series. So you had no reason not to. Other than you want to keep that pay-per-view going. And that's fine, I suppose, but why didn't you just do something else than to put the Intercontinental Championship in there? Why did you throw away Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn? That could have been an awesome match. And these guys need closure. And WrestleMania would have been the perfect place to do a closure match. Instead, you're probably going to do that Extreme Rules or Payback or any other unimportant pay-per-view when you could have done it at WrestleMania. You had the seeds planted. You had everything set up. Why didn't you fucking pull the trigger! I really wanted this match. I've been clamoring for it for a long time. Ever since Kevin Owens moved up to the main roster, I was rooting for him to win the United States Championship from John Cena and then defend it at WrestleMania against Sami Zayn. When he won the Intercontinental Championship, I was rooting for him to hold it all the way until WrestleMania and defend it against Sami Zayn. When we got close to the Royal Rumble, I was hoping that Sami Zayn was going to interfere, which he did, and eliminate Kevin Owens, setting up a match between the two of them at WrestleMania, with or without the championship, because Owens lost it to Dean Ambrose at some point. And when they won it back, I was certain that there were a chance, but I began hearing rumors that they're going to do a multi-man match. I'm like, no, please, no, please. Fuck! Fucking doing it. I'm pissed off. This match pisses me off. If Kalisto versus Ryback had been on the card, it would have pissed me off even more, because you're throwing away a singles match. You're not doing a singles match that has a lot of build up, a lot of good storytelling, and makes perfect sense for a match that makes no sense and is a singles match. It's on the pre-show though, so it's potentially not that bad, but it's still pissing me off. Ugh. This would probably have been the match that pissed me off the most. Except WWE decided to do something even stupider. And I believe that's the next match I'm going to be talking about. No, actually I forgot. The women's match. We got Charlotte, the Divas Champion, defending in a triple threat match against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. So, 3 of the 4 horsewomen from NXT. This could be a really good match. In fact, I believe I've actually... No, that was Bayley. But I think I've seen a match... Well, there was a fatal 4-way between the 4 of them. Yeah, I've seen some really good matches between all of them. They're all really good. So, this could potentially be really good. I mean, I'm not going to see it because I don't want to buy WrestleMania, because WWE is screwing up royally on every point. But, like I said, if Becky or Sasha wins the title of WrestleMania, this could potentially be the start of the women's revolution, as I would call it, where they changed the name of the belt to the women's title. After all, they were on NXT, where it's called the Women's Championship, and they're so tired of the old term diva. In fact, they're pushing for so they could say that I'm not a diva, I'm a woman, and this is the Women's Championship belt. There you go. You could do something like, you could build a story there, potentially. Or if you just decide to change it just for no reason, I'm still okay with it, because you get rid of that stupid term. But that's about it. But this means that it's very potential that Becky or Sasha is walking away with the title. I mean, the obvious choice is Sasha, but I'm kind of hoping Becky gets the title, because she is the only horsewoman from NXT to never hold the NXT Women's Championship. She got opportunities, certainly, but she never ever won it. So, I kind of hope she wins this. So, but hey, we'll see after WrestleMania. I think now is the time. Let's talk about the match that pisses me off the most for a number of reasons. So, backstory. Vince announces this new award, the Vincent J. McMahon Award. For those of you who don't know, Vincent J. McMahon is Vince Sr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon's father and the founder of WWE, or WWF, as it was called. But either way, he's the one who created this company. So obviously it has to go to someone of great value. Obviously, I mean, yeah, it's a throwaway award, but a lot of people were speculating who was gonna get it. If it was a legit award, then a lot of people, including myself, thought it should go to the Undertaker, because he has a huge he has done this company a huge legacy, and it would have been great to have him finally get this recognition and potentially a Hall of Fame spot next year. But they decided to use it as a storyline element, and they were given the the award to Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie came out. She was ready to give an acceptance speech. And then, here comes the money! Shane McMahon came back. Crowd went nuts. I lost it. It's like, Shane is here? Holy crap. I thought he was gone from WWE for good. Nope. He's back. And he came out and he talked a lot about the things that were wrong with WWE. You know, as a shoot, he was talking about the ratings going down. He was talking about the number of people injured. Talking about how WWE stocks are going down. A lot of things like that. And he said it was all because of Stephanie and Triple H. And he said that he wants to change all that because he wants to take control of Monday Night Raw. So, Vince decided to agree to it, but only if Shane won a match at WrestleMania. Who would be his opponent? Vince gave him The Undertaker. And the match is going to take place inside Hell in a Cell. I was very confused about this. First of all, there is no way in hell Shane is going to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And sure as hell not inside Hell in a Cell. I mean, Shane is not an actual wrestler. He hasn't been with the company for about 7 years. He has really no right to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But another big question on my mind was, The Undertaker wouldn't agree to this, would he? I mean, Vince doesn't really control him. He's his own man. He gains nothing from doing this match, so he can easily just come out and say, no, I'm not going to do it. He comes out next week, and he just tells Vince that he's going to do the match, but the blood of his son will be on his hands. Not explaining why he's doing it. Not at all. And yeah, that's that. Short promo, nothing explained. We go a few more weeks with basically the same thing. We see that there is a bit of dissension between Vince and Undertaker, in that Undertaker is getting a bit pissed off how Vince is talking about him as his lackey, which makes me even more questioning as to why the fuck is Undertaker taking this match. He has nothing to lose by not taking it. And then Vince finally comes up and says, alright, if Undertaker loses at WrestleMania, not only will Shane get control of Monday Night Raw, but The Undertaker will never be at WrestleMania again. This will be his last WrestleMania match. A little late there, Vince. And also, this just kind of makes the whole match kind of flip on its head. Because we're just starting to think they're not going to make this Undertaker's last match, is it? No, they can't be this stupid, can they? They can't have Undertaker lose at WrestleMania one more time, can they? Certainly not in Hell in a Cell. Certainly not in Dallas, his home state of Texas. They certainly could. They're not going to do that, are they? But a lot of people want Shane to win because he specifically said he wants control of Monday Night Raw. Which means two things. Which could mean two things. One, we get rid of the Authority. And really, they should get rid of the Authority because they are so freaking stale. They just need to go. Really, they just need to go. And he specifically said Monday Night Raw. Not WWE. Monday Night Raw. Which could mean that WWE is planning to do a brand split. Interesting. That is an interesting notion. I've been clamoring for a brand split for a long time. Having a brand split now seems like a very good idea. However, they need to do it right. However, there's a lot of things that needs to be considered if they're planning on doing that. First of all, how are they going to split the roster? Who's going where? How are they going to split? How are they going to do with the titles? Are they going to do two separate women's titles? Are they going to do two separate tag titles? Are they going to put the tag titles on one end and the women's title on the other? Well, who's going to be the new world champion? And no, for those of you who are saying that there should only be one world title with the brand split, then it's not really a brand split, is it? If there's only one world title, where's the brand split? They're still the same fucking show. They're still under the same belt. You need a second world title if you're gonna split the brands, because you want this to be as separate as possible if you're gonna do a proper brand split. If you don't, then you're not doing a proper brand split. And having a second world title just fixes the big problem which is really what we need here, because that's really the big problem with no brands. We've been clamoring for a brand split because we want new stars to rise to the top, but as long as there's only one world title, it's kind of hard to elevate people to the main event when they're when there's only a select group that gets to challenge for the world title. Well, and only very few gets elevated. Few people get elevated. But if you do a brand split, you can elevate more people to the world title, and you can give them more chances to shine or fail. That's a possibility. Like, that's the thing. If you give them a run with the world title, we get to see if these people are good champions or terrible champions. So we all need to see it. So we'll have to see if they do the right thing here, or wrong thing with that. But I am still not convinced that that it's enough for me to, that a brand split is enough for me to say that Undertaker should lose again. I mean, I don't want to see Undertaker lose at WrestleMania again. Even if I'm not going to watch the show, I still don't want to hear, Undertaker lost again. That it's 22-2. No, I want 23-1. I don't want to see Undertaker lose at WrestleMania again, especially not to a guy who is not a wrestler and has not wrestled for about who is not a wrestler, at least not a proper one, and he hasn't wrestled for about 7 years. And from the brawls he's had with Undertaker, he's pretty sloppy. Not gonna lie to you, he's pretty sloppy. He's not a credible threat, and really, and I know, if they're gonna do a match between these two, there has to be interference. Somebody has to interfere on Shane's behalf if Undertaker's gonna lose. If not, Undertaker just has to win. Clean as a sheet. There can be some back and forth because it's a Hell in a Cell match, but most likely Shane just has to eat the tombstone and just be beaten. He's apparently not, though, but I don't know. I still think Undertaker should still win that match because really, because honestly, there's no incentive for me to really want Undertaker to lose that match. I really don't want to see it. I really don't want to hear it. I just no. This really should have been a champion match. What I mean is that Shane picks someone and Vince picks someone. Or it should have been Shane versus Vince again. Would have made more sense to me. Instead of dragging The Undertaker in there for no reason. Either way, this match just, it doesn't appeal to me in any way. The story reasons for everything it was so poorly booked that it is a mess. And I have no reason to really accept this match at all. So, yeah. I'm really hoping that WWE doesn't screw this up, even though I know they're going to. Moving on. How many matches? There's only 2 left. I'm probably going to go overtime, which means that this video will be over an hour long, just like my previous WrestleMania prediction video, even though this isn't the prediction video. Either way, we got Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in a street fight. This match has been built very weirdly. It's like you had this build between Brock and Ambrose leading up to the triple threat match at Fastlane. Then Brock came out and attacked Dean, which set up the match at WrestleMania, on the Raw after Fastlane. And then the story sort of derailed to have Ambrose go after Triple H for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Roadblock, and Dean Ambrose almost had him beat, but Triple H managed to win in the end. And they decide, and that was not followed up on. It was basically pointless, and they just moved that away. And now they just continue with the storyline, which is that a lot of hardcore legends are giving Dean a lot of different weapons. Like Mick Foley's giving him the barbed wire, the 2x4 with a barbed wire on it, or Barbie as he calls it. Terry Funk is giving him a chainsaw, and he's now carrying around a wheelbarrow of weapons that he's going to use to kill Brock Lesnar, apparently. I mean, he's gonna need it if he's gonna beat Brock Lesnar, but I'm standing ground on what I said. I don't think Brock Lesnar should ever be beaten again. Ever. Ever since he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania, he has no right to lose. Ever. And Dean Ambrose has not convinced me that he's the right guy to do it. Lesnar should win. It can be a hard-fought match. Lesnar can bleed as much as he wants. But he needs to either make Ambrose tap out to the Gorilla or he needs to F5 him to beat him. I just don't want Ambrose to win this match. Because I just don't think it's a good idea. Ambrose is not the guy to win this match. And really, it just wouldn't make any fucking sense. I mean, and yeah, I know it's a street fight, but still, Brock Lesnar should be able to just tank through all of that. He's tanked through a lot in that triple threat match with, he's tanked through that triple threat match with Rollins and Cena, and hell, just recently he had a big Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker, where both men were bleeding a lot. But Lesnar came out victorious over The Undertaker, who, I remind you, is a freaking monster inside Hell in a Cell. Sure, he hasn't won all of them, but he has broken a lot of bones. Just ask Mick Foley. Man, I'm really sore in my throat today. Either way, yeah, I don't think Dean should win this match at all. If he does, I call bullshit. I call pure and utter bullshit. But the reason I'm not as passionate about it as I was last year when I was desperately against Roman Reigns winning is because I really just, I have a feeling that after WrestleMania this year, I'm gonna just quit. I'm not gonna give a shit about wrestling anymore. I'm probably just gonna watch the Raw afterwards because that's usually a fun show, and then I'm just gonna move away. I'm not gonna look up any more WWE details. I mean, there's only two things that can make me move away though, and most likely one of them will happen. Either Lesnar loses, or Undertaker loses. One of the two. And I'm pretty sure one of them is going to happen, which is bullshit. So, let's move on to the final match on the card. The big one, the main event. Triple H versus Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And considering that I only have 7 minutes left on my recording, I'm going to stop here and do a separate recording to talk about that match. And I'm back. I tried to record it right afterwards, but there were some problems here and there. So here we go. Roman Reigns versus Triple H. This has been built all wrong. I mean, it started off a bit promising, though I felt it was built up very wrong. Either way, Roman Reigns won the world title at Survivor Series, and he got screwed over by the Money in the Bank winner, which was Sheamus. Sheamus was endorsed by the Authority, and they set up another match at TLC. Sheamus got help and won the match. Roman Reigns then went into a frenzy and attacked Triple H and basically put him in the hospital. Then Roman Reigns managed to win the title after Vince set up another match on Raw. And then they set up another match for Roman to defend the title in the Royal Rumble. So yeah, they took away the whole winner goes to WrestleMania to face the champion. Instead, now the championship is being defended in the Royal Rumble. And in the meantime, we got to see Roman Reigns as the champion, and he was pretty darn boring. So, yeah. Most of us was really hoping that Roman was going to lose the championship. He was booed out of the building at the Royal Rumble yet again. Second year in a row, he was booed out of the building. Number 30 came out, and it happened to be Triple H. That's it out. Triple H managed to dump out Roman Reigns to the biggest pop of the night. Yeah, the biggest heel in the company, eliminating the biggest face in the company from the Royal Rumble. Biggest pop of the night. Something is going wrong here, WWE. Then they decided to just forget that Roman Reigns should have a rematch clause for a title match. Instead, they set up a number 1 contender match for a world title that it would be defended on WrestleMania, because of course Triple H is not going to defend it at Fastlane. You know, the next pay-per-view. Nah, forget the 30-day rule. He is the authority. He can do whatever the hell he wants. They set up a match. Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Winner goes to WrestleMania to face Triple H. In the weeks leading up, Dean Ambrose had a lot of promos against Triple H, while Roman Reigns just kind of stood there, and Brock Lesnar was being dominant and had a lot of interaction with Triple H. And if you really stop to think about it, both of those, both Dean and Brock Lesnar seemed like a bit better matches. Dean Ambrose, because he put on some great promos here that could really build a match if they really went all out with it. And Brock Lesnar, because there is some history between the two of them. They've had a couple of matches in the past, and while Brock Lesnar was the overall winner of those matches, the one place where he actually was beaten by Triple H was WrestleMania. This could be Brock Lesnar's chance for revenge. But I don't think. But apparently they just decided, nope, we're gonna take the two most interesting guys and put them against each other at WrestleMania, and instead have Roman Reigns win and face Triple H at WrestleMania. And then came the best moment of all. Because it is so backwards of what WWE would want the fans to feel. This happened on a Raw. Roman Reigns had a match with Sheamus. He beat Sheamus, and then Triple H came out, and they started to brawl. And throughout the entire brawl, everybody was cheering like crazy for Triple H and booing the shit out of Roman Reigns. And what happened? And this Raw, I think this was the Raw after Daniel Bryan announced his retirement. And Triple H was a big thorn in, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm Norwegian. In Daniel Bryan's in Triple H's side, they had a big rivalry going, and in this new rivalry between Triple H and Roman Reigns gets beat down. Now Triple H gets him to the announce table and starts slamming his head on the announce table, and every time his head hits the announce table, the crowd goes, yes, 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 yes. It was incredible. I was watching that, and it was freaking incredible. Well, to see Triple H just be a freaking badass, beating the shit out of Roman Reigns, and getting such a loud pop. It felt like we were back when Triple H was one of the most beloved characters in a wrestling business, because there was a time when people were ecstatic about Triple H. And And then he got Roman Reigns to bleed, and then he did a pedigree on the steel steps, and the crowd went crazy for him. And it was so freaking backward from what WWE would want them to do. And what they did next was even worse. They had this Brawl actually take on that Roman Reigns got an injury, and they sidelined them for a few weeks while they instead inserted Dean Ambrose into a match with Triple H, which got people excited for a match between the two of them, and they really wanted to see Dean win the championship at Roadblock. And he almost did. He got a 3 count, but his feet were in the ropes, so nope. Which meant that and nothing became of that match, as I said earlier, but it just made when the fact that Roman Reigns came back even worse. When Roman Reigns came back and started feuding with Triple H again, started beating the holy hell of him, the crowd still booed the shit out of him. To the point where most of the Raws have been edited to make sure that Roman Reigns didn't get all the boos. Even though the crowds at these wrestling events have been booing him like crazy. And people were actually more concerned with a referee that was kind of caught in the crossfire here than they did about any of the other two. And now every time Roman Reigns has been in a promo against Triple H or Stephanie or whatever, he's been booed out of the building. It's been all boos. Hell, there was even a moment on the last Raw where two things happened. Triple H was out there talking, and Roman Reigns came out into the ring, and he started trying to attack Triple H. And the crowd did the thing where one wrestler punches another, and the crowd goes "Yay!" and then the other wrestler punches back, and they go "Boo!" They did that, and it was for Triple H. When Triple H punched Roman Reigns, they went "Yay!" And when Roman Reigns punched Triple H, they went "Boo!" She's totally backward from what WWE wants us to do. It is so freaking ridiculous. And then they got to the point where they had to have a bunch of wrestlers come out and pull them apart. And then Roman Reigns did a plancha over the top rope, or dive over the top rope, onto them, and the crowd went "Ooh!" for a little moment, because that was a cool moment. And then they proceeded to go, "You still suck! You still suck!" And I'm like, oh. This is going so fucking badly for Roman Reigns on so many levels. And WWE is just falling flat on its face with this storyline. When people are firmly behind Triple H and firmly against Roman Reigns. It's just like last year. But this year, you don't have any sort of way out. You're stuck with this. You can't change anything. You're gonna have to do this match, and if you let Roman win, it's gonna end with probably with a big celebration that Roman Reigns finally won the championship, and they're gonna boo the shit out of him. It's gonna just be a WrestleMania where they just stand there. He's having this big moment, and the crowd is showering him with boos. Or you have Triple H win, which is gonna get a good reaction at first, and then they're just gonna be like, okay, well, we avoided that, but what do we do now? Triple H is champion, so he's probably not going to defend the title every time. And here's the thing. I want Triple H to hold the championship for a long time. I would want him to hold it until Seth Rollins returns, because that would build on the storyline between the two. The one that started really when Triple H was starting to build momentum against Seth Rollins, and making him work for it a little bit, and then setting up a match between the two. Well, there is that, and ever since Triple H and Undertaker became part-timers, I really wanted them to get at least one more run with the belt, because they're my favorite wrestlers. I know it's blatant favoritism, but I love those guys, and I would want them to get one more run with the belt before they retire. And yeah, there we go. Triple H has gotten his title run. Undertaker hasn't, but I really don't think he should get a run anyway at this point. So yeah, I'd love to see him continue, because he just had a really good match with Dean Ambrose at Roadblock, and he had a match with Dolph Ziggler just recently, and well, I thought it was kind of bad, mostly because of Ziggler. He still held his own against him and did a pretty good job. So I think if he wanted to, he could still go for a long time. And Triple H, I really just want him to succeed, to do really, really well. But either way, where was I? Ah, yes. So yeah, what can you do to save this match? Nothing really, but there is one thing you can do that can make the fans a little bit happy. Here's what I'm suggesting. You have Triple H either cheat or win clean, whatever. Just have Triple H win. Triple H wins, and then after he wins, he starts belittling Roman Reigns. Stephanie comes out and starts slapping him, and then Triple H picks up the sledgehammer, gets ready to to put Roman Reigns out for good, and then if you smell, The Rock comes out. Roman Reigns is cousin and all. He comes out and fends off Triple H and Stephanie. But at this point, Roman is furious. He's been fucked over so many times now. He is beyond, and he's been fucked over so many times, and the crowd, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. They want him to fail on every count. He has everyone against him. Nobody, he gets no support, and he might get a little bit of support from The Rock, but he's a bit too late. He's already been screwed out of the title. And this was his time to shine, and it failed. So he's had enough. If everyone's gonna be against me, I'm gonna knock everyone out. And he turns to The Rock and spear, beat down, pick up a chair, hit him with the chair, and again, possibly make him bleed, I don't care, I don't know, something, just toss him all over the place, make him rip up the announce table, throw a punch at Michael Cole, make him throw a punch at Byron Saxton, throw a punch at the ring announcer, make him just absolutely crazy and angry. And then he picks up a mic and says, "You motherfuckers don't." Oh, then the next night on, I think the next night on Raw is probably better. He can beat down The Rock, and that's the end of the show. He comes out on Raw the next night and says, "You bastards." Oh, not I'm paraphrasing a little bit, making my own one. But if he could go on set, he'd go, "You motherfuckers." And I'm not speaking just to the authorities. I'm not speaking just to you guys. I'm speaking to every single person out there. None of you cares about me. None of you ever showed me support. I had the whole world against me. And I got no sympathy. I was right for that championship. And I got fucked over. I got fucked over by Vince. I got fucked over by the authority. But most of all, I got fucked over by you. All of you idiotic, stupid, unbearable fans who booed me no matter how much I tried to appease you. No matter how much I gave of my life to this business. You guys never cared about me at all. I just tried to do my job. I just tried to be nice. I tried to do what I could. I'm done. I'm done with all that. I'm done with the authority. I'm done with the fan. I'm done with family. You saw what I did to The Rock. I don't care that he's my cousin. I don't fucking care anymore. To me, it truly is all one versus all. And you guys are all. I don't fucking care about any of you anymore. Heel turn. There we go. Heel turn accomplished. Roman Reigns is officially a heel. How they're going to handle a heel turn from there, I don't know. But I would love if they did do that. That they had him lose to Triple H, be so frustrated, beat the shit out of The Rock, and come out the next night and just tell the fans to fuck off. And just turn heel right there. Possibly attack Dean Ambrose as well. Well, just to set up a match between them at Extreme Rules. Unless they want to sell that Dean Ambrose is completely knocked out by Brock Lesnar. But either way. That's essentially what I think. Though, granted, I'm not going to be watching the show. I'm just so frustrated with how they have done all the build-up. I've talked about it for over an hour now. And I didn't even give my predictions. I didn't even give my thoughts on the wrestlers themselves. Well, a little bit, but not that much. And it was all just a waste. A waste on so many levels. And I'm going for about over an hour and a half just talking about this, and I'm just so... I know it seems like I am interested, but I'm really not, because really there's nothing here that really makes me want to subscribe to the network and see how it goes, because it's not really a train wreck that it's so horrible that you have to see it. It's just so badly shot that I just don't want to push myself through it and pay money for it. And even if it is a good wrestling show, it's still badly booked and badly decided. And there's so many good things they could have done, but they didn't. I don't want to force myself through it. And it's sad too, because I really wanted to see TakeOver Dallas as well, which is going to blow this show out of the building. Out of the bank. I mean, let me just have a look. I'll just tell you a little bit about the card. It's like you have Austin Aries. Austin Aries, a guy I saw in TNA once, and he was really good. Finally coming to WWE and facing Baron Corbin. He's not that good of a wrestler, but I'm sure they could put on a pretty good match. You have the Revival, or the Mechanics, or Dash and Dawson, whatever you want to call them, in a tag team championship match against the American Alpha, which is Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. All really good wrestlers, so we could put on a really good match. You have Bailey facing Asuka, Asuka. I don't know how you pronounce it. I just don't get why you take out the U. But I'm not gonna judge Japanese names here. But I've just been trying to call her Asuka because Tekken. But yeah, Bailey's really good, and Asuka, Asuka, whatever you want to call her, is freaking amazing. And her character is amazing. Her wrestling style is amazing. She's really great. So I would love to see a match between the two of them. And then we have a big one. Sami Zayn's potential last match in NXT against a man who has been cited as one of the best stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And hell, many have said that it's either him or AJ Styles that's considered the absolute best wrestlers in the world today. Shinsuke Nakamura, a guy people have been clamoring for to get to WWE, at least when they heard that he was signing, and here he is, and he's gonna fight Sami Zayn, who's also extremely good. So that could be a match of the decade match. A match of the decade right there. But who knows? I'm not gonna be able to see it because I don't want to give WWE any money for this bullshit that they're putting through. And then finally we have wait, did I miss a match? Oh yeah, Apollo Crews versus Elias Samson. Apollo Crews is a really good wrestler. I've heard good things about Elias Samson, but I don't know too much about him. And yeah, the only other thing is Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor again. And Samoa Joe is great. He's amazing. So is Finn Balor. And they could potentially have a really good match. And while I'm not going to watch the show, I'm hoping Joe takes the title. Because I think it's time for Finn to move on and potentially bring in Balor Club. That could be interesting to see. But yeah, I've been rambling for over an hour and a half, probably not getting anything true, because I usually ramble about absolutely nothing. But it just shows you how much I just hate what WWE is doing right now. It is so freaking terrible what they're doing. I hope I can turn on the camera after Raw has passed and say that the decisions they made were a lot better than what I was expecting, but I don't think that's gonna happen. If I have anything to say, I'll talk about it, but if not, I'll just leave it silent and just say I wasn't wrong. It really was a terrible WrestleMania. I'm really hoping I'm wrong.